Disclaimer: Pimax is a startup company and still faces challenges concerning customer service and timeliness of delivery. The company has vowed to improve on both, but until we see major improvements, I have decided not to make profits off Pimax affiliate links. If your purchasing decisions are based on MRTV's unbiased and honest XR reviews, consider supporting this approach by joining the MRTV Patreon at mrtvelite.com. Hi and welcome back to MRTV. This is the preview of the Pimax Artisan. The Pimax Artisan is the new entry-level headset from Pimax, and priced at $449 for the headset only, it directly competes against the Valve Index in the market for SteamVR lighthouse tracking compatible headsets. In this video, you will find out why the Pimax Artisan is not quite the Valve Index killer, but why in my opinion it's still one of the most exciting headsets that Pimax has launched to date, and why I believe that this could be a feasible option not just for VR enthusiasts, but for anyone who's looking for a new VR headset with a big FOV, and all of this goodness is coming up. Welcome back again here to MRTV. My name is Sebastian Ang, and this channel is all about virtual reality. I'm bringing you unbiased and honest reviews of all the VR headsets, just like this one here. And of course, I'm bringing you all the latest news. So if you have not yet subscribed to MRTV yet, do so now and click on the bell button so that you don't miss anything. All right, let's directly start with the overview. The Pimax Artisan is fully compatible with SteamVR lighthouse tracking. To be able to use it, you will need SteamVR base stations and compatible controllers. This makes the Artisan an interesting upgrade option for those consumers that own first-generation lighthouse setups like owners of the original Vive. For those who would like to go for the Artisan and do not yet own base stations and controllers, Pimax is offering a complete bundle that includes Valve base stations and Valve Index controllers for $948. The headset therefore is more of a Valve Index than a Rift S competitor, since the Rift S can be purchased for $399 and already includes everything that is needed to dive into VR. Therefore, I will focus on the Valve Index for the in-depth comparisons in the remainder of this preview. The Pimax Artisan retains the wide FOV that became a trademark for Pimax headsets. At a maximum of 170 degrees diagonal FOV, it offers still a wider FOV than the Valve Index with its 135 degrees. It does not quite reach the 200 degrees of the Pimax flagship models 8KX and 8K Plus though. That is actually more of a blessing than a curse, and we will talk about that later in this preview. As far as the displays are concerned, the Artisan sports two LC displays with a resolution of 1700 x 1440 pixels per eye and a max refresh rate of 120 Hz. That is quite a step up from the Rift S, 1280 x 1440 pixels at 80 Hz, and a bit of a higher resolution than the Valve Index, 1600 x 1440 pixels per eye. Despite the slightly lower resolution, the Index displays are capable of a higher 144 Hz refresh rate though. Build quality, comfort and features. Unlike the more expensive Pimax 8KX and Pimax 8K Plus, the Pimax Artisan does not ship with that rigid modular audio strap. Instead, it comes with a more conventional elastic head strap that we know from the previous models. To increase the comfort though, the Pimax Artisan does come with the improved Comfort Kit. The Comfort Kit is a new facial padding that has a much broader area for the forehead to rest on. The Artisan that arrived here at the MRTV headquarters also arrived with these over-ear headphones that are directly connected to the elastic head strap. We've seen exactly these headphones on the Pimax 4K before. Other than that, the Artisan cannot be distinguished from previous 5K or 8K Pimax models. It uses the same housing that comes with IPD adjustment wheel, on-off button, volume rockers, a single 3.5mm audio jack and two USB-C connectors for future upgrades like the eye tracking or the hand tracking module that will both be compatible with the Artisan. Thanks to the Comfort Kit, the headset indeed is way more comfortable than the previous Pimax models. However, it cannot quite compare to Valve Index and Pimax 8KX Plus in terms of comfort and ease of use. All of these competing headsets offer rigid head straps that simply can be adjusted by turning a single adjustment wheel at the back of the strap. For users that don't have to share the headset with others and therefore do not need to readjust the head strap every single time the headset is used, the elastic strap in conjunction with the comfort kit might be a quite acceptable solution. It does feel outdated though, when taking into consideration that the Valve Index offers a way superior solution for a similar price. Also, in terms of build quality, the two headsets are worlds apart. The Valve Index offers far superior quality housing and overall workmanship. The Index simply feels like the more complete and better engineered device that is no match for the Artisan at all. Displays, lenses and FOV. Next to comfort, of course, the picture quality in VR is of major importance when making a purchase decision. The Artisan offers a surprisingly great picture quality that is a joy to look at in VR. The two RGB striped Matrix LC displays sport a resolution of 1700 x 1440 pixels per eye, and even though that is less than the 2560 x 1440 pixels per eye resolution of the Pimax 5K Plus, the picture looks even slightly better with a less perceivable SDE than the former entry-level Pimax headset. The reason probably is a smaller display size, which would also explain the smaller maximum FOV of 170 degrees as compared to the 200 degrees FOV of the other Pimax models. As hinted at before, the decrease in FOV actually is not a disadvantage at all, but instead a blessing in disguise. The 170 degrees FOV allows for fantastic immersion and is noticeably wider than that of the Valve Index. Yet, there's barely any noticeable distortion, a problem that all the other Pimax headsets are plagued with. Of all the Pimax models, the Artisan is the Pimax headset with the least amount of distortion, finally making this the first Pimax that might be a feasible option not only for the hardcore VR enthusiast, but also for the general consumer. Another advantage of the Artisan as compared to the other Pimax models is the perceived increase in binocular overlap. For the Artisan, I felt way more comfortable focusing on objects right in front of me at the center of my vision. For the ultra-wide FOV headsets of Pimax, they seem to decrease the binocular overlap in favor of that ultra-wide FOV. In my opinion, with the 170 degrees, Pimax is hitting quite a sweet spot here. They offer more immersion with this wide FOV while still retaining the viewing comfort for the user. For this headset, I could play for hours and then coming out without feeling any eye strain at all, and that quite excites me about the Pimax Artisan. Colors and black levels are generally on par with the previous Pimax displays. In direct A/B comparisons with the Pimax 5K Plus, colors looked more vibrant and generally preferable over the entry-level predecessor. In direct comparison with the Valve Index, the Artisan cannot quite reach the quality of the Index displays when it comes to colors and black levels. The same is true for sharpness and visible screen door effect. Both is better on the Valve Index. The Artisan does have an edge though when it comes to the size of the sweet spot, the area where the user sees the sharpest picture. That area is bigger on the Pimax headset, and that should have to do with its big lenses. The lenses are just the same Fresnel lenses that have been used on all the recent Pimax models. They do a decent job and have one big advantage over the Valve Index lenses. They introduce way less glare. God rays are a big problem of the Valve Index, and consumers who have dismissed the Index because of this shortcoming might want to check out the Artisan instead. The God ray problem is not perfectly solved here, but it's way less pronounced than on the Valve Index. Audio. The headphones that came with my Artisan are quite a good audio solution. They do a good enough job to keep you immersed into the virtual worlds you're visiting. And I prefer this audio solution a lot over the open ear approach of Rift S and Quest. The headphones sound good, but not great, and lack quite a bit in the bass department. In direct comparison to the Valve Index sound solution, they cannot quite compare at all though. But again, for typical day-to-day use, and if you do not belong to the audiophile community, they will do a good enough job. Also, the microphone that is built into the Artisan will not disappoint, and your fellow teammates in multiplayer games or your live stream viewers will hear you loud and clear, although, also in this category, the Index impresses with a superior offering. Benchmarks. The Artisan is marketed as an entry-level headset that can be used by anyone with at least a GTX 1050 Ti or GTX 1060. With my GTX 1080 Ti, of course, I had no problems whatsoever to run the Pimax Artisan. Let's have a look at the OpenVR benchmark results. On my GTX 1080 Ti system and the Artisan, I receive an OpenVR benchmark score of 33 FPS, a very respectable result. The same benchmark results in 43 FPS on the Valve Index with a render resolution of 2016 x 2240 SteamVR SS at 100% on the same computer. For all of you who are not familiar with the OpenVR benchmark tool, results below 90 FPS are rather the norm than the exception. The same scene will be tested with the different headset GPU combinations and the resulting frames per second will be counted. This value can then be compared with other headset GPU combinations. Simply run the free tool on your current setup to find out how many FPS you would get with the exact same OpenVR benchmark scene. It is safe to say that for the Artisan you do not need the latest and greatest GPU for a good experience. Tracking and controllers. For the sake of this preview, I've used the Artisan with Valve Index controllers and Valve Lighthouse base stations. Just as expected, tracking of the headset is flawless and the Index controllers perform just as expected. Around CES 2020, Pimax had also teased a version of the Artisan that would come with a no-load tracking system and the no-load controllers as an alternative to Valve Lighthouse tracking. I had no chance to review that solution and I also could not find any mention of it on the Pimax website anymore. Should it still release, I will for sure review it in a separate article. Software compatibility, ease of setup. The Pimax Artisan, just like all the other Pimax headsets, is fully compatible with all of the SteamVR library. The software needed to run the Pimax headsets, PyTool, is even capable of running Oculus Rift games without the need to use an additional tool like, for example, Revive. Setting up the headsets is way easier than you might come to expect from a Pimax headset and will only take a couple of minutes. The software has come a long way from the early days of the Pimax 8K Kickstarter, and the default settings should be totally fine for the big majority of consumers who will use the device. Conclusion. The Pimax Artisan is one of the most exciting Pimax VR headsets to date. It offers a wide FOV VR experience without being impaired by distortions in a way that the previous Pimax models were. The attractive price point will also make it a viable option for all those who want to replace their first generation SteamVR Lighthouse headset with a wide FOV option. If it came in at the same current price, but would include the deluxe modular audio strap of the 8KX and the same quality housing, it would be tough not to recommend the Artisan over the Valve Index for its increased FOV and the absence of God rays. As it stands right now though, coming with the simplistic elastic strap, worse audio solution and overall inferior build quality, the Valve Index is still the headset to beat and my recommendation for VR enthusiasts who are looking for the best overall VR package out there. For those consumers that are looking for a wider FOV headset though, that is not plagued by God rays in a way that the Index is, the Artisan is an exciting option that is well worth a purchase. And that's it for the preview of the Pimax Artisan. You can find the full written version on the MRTV website at mrtv.co. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think about the Pimax Artisan? Is it an option for you? Please do let me know in the comment section below. That's it. I really hope that you enjoyed this preview. If yes, give it a thumbs up. And of course, if you've not yet subscribed to MRTV yet, do so now and click on the bell button so that you don't miss anything. I'm looking forward to see you in the next episode.